Good day, I'm Dr. T, and today I am reviewing New World, and this is not going to be the most positive of all reviews. Okay, so I've hopped onto my character. She's level 38 at this point, and I am probably not going to really play this game too awful much more, for reasons I'll get into here in a second. Okay, so I've got myself a house. I haven't been logged on for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and pay my property tax. Okay, property tax paid. And yeah, so one of the things in this game, it really feels a bit like a Skyrim clone for a lot of reasons. But you can get houses, kind of like you can in Skyrim, although in Skyrim you just get the house and you're good, you can decorate it, etc. In this place, you can really have a lot more customization. So you can place furniture, etc. that you craft. But you have to pay property taxes, and that goes into the whole guild system. So the owners of the town get your property tax. They have to pay property taxes for the town. They have to maintain upkeep, etc. It's supposed to be part of the MMO experience here. And your houses have, various benefits like some extra storage, trophies you can put on the wall. You can see I've got a couple here on the wall that give you boosts throughout the world, give you a nice little status boost. Nothing impressive, but it's nice to have, at least a little bit of a status boost. So this is a nice feature. I like this. This is taking things that were explored in Skyrim and kind of taking it to another level, updating it. Skyrim is what, a decade old now. And so this is kind of taking that, putting it into an MMO environment, which is definitely kind of nice. It's got some decent fast travel that's well within the lore. You get some bonuses for your territory standing. Once again, a lot of nice features. And in many respects, I really like this game. Except, and so I'm actually going to do the kind of iron run over in Monarch's Bluff. So I'm going to go ahead and fast travel to Monarch's Bluff. Which, the fast traveling works well. It's limited. You really can only fast travel if you're in a settlement or one of the fast travel points. It does cost you a little bit of resources, nothing major, but it means you can't bounce around all over the map. It's really well done. And I know I'm praising a game that I basically am saying I'm not going to continue playing. For reasons that I'll get to here in a second. Let's see if I can remember how I draw my weapon. There it is. It's been a little while. So I haven't played in about 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, so right now my character, she's doing Sword and Shield, which the shield can only be used with what I would call an arming sword. I think they just call it a sword, but I'd call it an arming sword. So kind of more of a medieval style sword as opposed to a rapier. Which is kind of annoying because there's other one-handed weapons, and I get the kind of balance idea they're going for, but yeah, that's kind of disappointing because it really, why do I use a one-handed weapon? She's using rifle as well. I really like the rifle. It's the most powerful single-hit weapon of the game. Now, of course, that was a very low-level opponent. That was level 6. I'm level 38, so, that was pretty unfair. One hit, one kill is pretty reasonable for that. And I'm going around, I'm gathering resources. And the gathering of the resources are by far the best part of this game. I love this. I'm going around grabbing the hemp, which they actually use hemp for making textiles. A lot of games you have to get your textiles from opponents, etc. But in this one you go for hemp. Hemp's a wonderful material for textiles. Makes perfect sense. I'm mining some iron ore. Now, just to be clear, though, this is a lot of iron ore. It's a very large lump. So, kind of the amount of iron this is going to make is surprisingly little. But, still you get the idea. You're running around. You're gathering resources. I really, really like this. It's got a lot of side quests. Once again, it very much feels like kind of a Skyrim-esque game. You'll notice the same, top bar, your compass, very much like Skyrim had. The graphics, I can't complain about the graphics. Graphics are very nice. I've got a GTX 970. It can run it fine, so they're not, horribly taxing, but it still looks very pretty. Very reasonable graphics. So once again, I like the game, but this is an MMO, and I've basically been playing it solo because most of the, multiplayer is a lot of the PvP, which is fine. And, so I'm not flagged for PvP because, well, if you're going to do PvP, it makes a lot more sense for you to be at a pretty good level. And that's where this game really falls flat. The leveling process is so grindy. I'm on level 38. I've been on level 38 for quite a while. You have to, earn an absurd amount of experience to get higher. I'm like, okay, that's kind of annoying. But then, that means is I can't really experience the PvP, at least not in what I think would be a satisfactory approach. I'm not going to jump in and do PvP when I know I'm just going to get, nailed by a level 60 character. So there's no point in me even trying it until I get up to about level 60. And then it's just so grindy. Now, they've got a nice crafting system. I really love the crafting system, except for the fact that to level up your crafting, it's insanely grindy. You have to make a bunch of random junk. Most of the stuff, of course, you can't sell at the trading post for any resembling a profit, because, of course, everyone else is making a whole bunch of random junk just to level up their crafting. And this is before I get into their whole watermark system, which, once you get up to level 60, then, you're trying to get really good gear. Because, once again, you're not competitive if you don't have reasonably decent gear in a PvP environment. And, well, you can't just randomly get a great drop. If you get a drop, you get, say, a level 510 piece of armor. Well, now you can get, your next drops, you can start thinking about getting some 520s. And so you can't get the level 600 drops without, either grinding up your crafting by a ton. And, I don't want to craft everything. Or you're going to have to, go for a lot of looting and just slowly grind going through opening chests, etc. Which, once again, it's a grind. There's no wonderful content here except for a grind. The early game is great, and to be honest, I don't feel cheated. I think I got my money's worth. I've played this thing for maybe 70 hours, maybe 80. And it was fun. The first 30 levels were worth it. There's enough story. The grind isn't too bad early on. And I enjoyed that. That was nice. I really liked the first, 30 levels or so. Discovering the various landscapes. The lore of the area is wonderful. It's a really fresh lore. There's a lot that I like about this game. But once you pass around level 30, all of a sudden the grind just starts to kick in, where the quests are all basically the same quest. They've got a little bit of lore going on, but you start realizing that they're the same 5 or 6 quests. And the amount of lore being explored in the quests isn't really adding to. They come out with a decent amount of lore, and they just don't really add to it. They just kind of duplicate it over and over again. And that's actually something you'll notice with this game. It's hilarious how much they duplicate in this game. And this is they've changed it. Have they changed it? Or am I in a different spot? This used to be an absolutely horrible jump. Oh no, it's coming right up ahead. You'll look, the same tree will occur over and over again. The same buildings will occur over and over again. This is the most duplicated game I've ever seen. This is so much Control-C, it's ridiculous. Okay, so this is a jump. It took me forever to figure out that you can actually make this jump, and I cannot remember quite where it's at. Although I'm getting the feeling they might have... No, okay, there's where the jump is. And what I want to do is I want to get across here and up there, but the only way I can do that is right about here. This is going to be one of those maybe I put some copyright-free yakety sax on this. Okay, there, I made it. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, there's a nice iron ore up here that's fairly nice to have to get up here. So, yeah, my general review of this game, the first 30 levels, it's got a unique and fresh lore, but it doesn't have a ton of lore. It's like they've got the core of an excellent game here, and they don't have the rest. And they've tried to replace the rest of an excellent and amazing game just with grinding. That hopefully you don't notice that they're missing, the rest of it. Which is just sad because it's so good. This could be the next Skyrim, but it's not. That said, if you're thinking about getting it, get it. Once again, the first, 30 levels or so are good, but by the time you hit level 35 or so, just plan on getting yourself your first house and uninstalling the game, because at that point, you will have seen at least everything you're going to see at any time soon. Have I got the iron? I know I'm missing one more. Once I jump down to get that moth, I know I won't be able to jump back up. Okay, where is that iron? You'll notice up on the, whatever you call that thing on the top, it does give you, as you level up, once again, more grinding. Once you level up your skills, it does start showing you what's there. And so you've got various resource gathering skills. Once again, you level them up by doing them. Wood cutting is dull. Mining's kind of fun, finding the different, resource nodes and mining them. That I like. I really enjoy the mining part. I enjoy the gathering of plants and other resources. That's enjoyable. By the way, when it comes to realism, that would have totally killed her. But, it's a video game. But when it comes to trees, you basically just have to chop down trees. And this is where the grind really comes in, is I find a random tree, they're all over the place. And yay, I've just done the tree, and you'll notice how much it's upgraded my logging. Almost an imperceptible amount. So it's like, okay, how many trees am I going to have to cut down to get this up to a decent level? I mean, thousands I can guess. It's going to be ridiculous. Okay, let's see. I'm going to get me some bacon, because you can also skin them. Okay, now when it comes to the rifle, it's a little bit underpowered. So that pig was at half my level, and, it took a couple of shots to take it out, which seems a little bit odd to me. I've heard the rifle's really, really good for PvP, but once again, I don't play PvP. Okay, have another pig that just ignored me. Okay, that's nice. And then you can skin the pig to get some meat and rawhide, which is always nice. And so, yeah. Oh, also, like every other game with guns, it seems to think that you need to do headshots. I understand why they do this. It makes it harder. You've got a powerful weapon, but, it's harder to hit a little tiny target. But let's just be honest. I haven't eaten anything. That's why I'm not healing. Okay. That's not how guns work. If you get hit by a rifle, it doesn't really matter all that much where you get hit. I mean, it does matter, but if you get hit in the chest, you're not going to be running around. a lot. It's going to make some serious dent. It's not just going to cause a flesh wound, which is unfortunately what a lot of video games do, and this one included. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of run around, gather a little bit more, get back to town. Maybe do a little bit of crafting, kind of show that. Because once again, the crafting, in many respects, I like a lot of the crafting if it would just simply level up a whole lot faster. Ooh, I got loot. Wow, this area's got a lot of wolves. Yeah, and that's actually something else that I've got a bit of a gripe with this one. When the opponents respawn, the respawn rate is through the roof. Like, if I run back here, I'm guessing some of those pigs will have already respawned. It gets to the point where you're trying to go through a dungeon, etc., where you can't make progress going solo because they respawn too quickly. They just keep coming back over and over again. I don't want a boulder. And so, you know, you kill one, you kill the next one, you kill the third one, and the first one you killed is already respawned. Like, are you kidding me? I can't slowly go through, clear an area, and be able to, you know, progress that way. They respawn so quickly. It doesn't look like they're respawning as quickly right now. That's probably because the server's probably pretty low on people. Oh, no, there's the pigs. I'm pretty sure those were the exact same pigs I killed earlier. They've already respawned. Once again, it's just the respawn rate and the feeling of a grind. You're not making progress. You're just slowly grinding around. Really gets very, very old. So I am going to use one of the fast travels. You get a limited number of fast travel options by recalling to either an inn or to your house, which are both on pretty long cooldowns. Like, I think it's an hour or two or more for those cooldowns. And you can only set, you know, you have to have a house in the town, or you have to have, you know, checked into that inn. You can only be in one inn. So it makes things, you know, a little bit annoying. And I'm trying to remember how I sheath my weapon. Oh, and also on a side note, you can't check your inventory while you're running. You stop and turn to face the camera whenever you check the inventory. Just annoying. Okay, let's go see if I've got anything in storage in here, or if all my stuff is in... Okay, looks like I've got some stuff. I can at least do a little bit of crafting. So I'm going to run over to the crafting stations. Crafting stations can have multiple levels. It's part of the MMO experience where... Oh, wow, these are low. Yeah, this town apparently has been invaded by the zombie hordes, which basically you and all your opponents are zombies. Yeah, the spoilers for the opening scene, you die. But everyone's immortal on this area. So you log into your... You go to your crafting station, and if you've got the resources... If the crafting station is a sufficiently high level, and if you are a sufficiently high level, then you can craft whatever you want to craft. I like where it crafts fairly quickly. So, you know, if I want a bunch of iron ingots, I just made 146 of them. One foul swoop, no big deal, pretty straightforward. So that makes life nice. Once again, there's a lot that's really, really good that you really don't see in the game until around level 30. You know, you see all the good stuff early on, and then by level 30 or so, you start to go, wait, this is getting kind of old. Okay, where's the ammo? I apparently am missing something. Okay, steel cartridges. I need everything. Okay, that must be in a different area. The firearms and the bow and arrow use ammo, so you notice you got my ammo count there. So, general review. It's an excellent game until it's not. It's just so grindy after around level 30 that I'm not going to continue playing it probably. You know, I may log on every now and then, but it's like I can't progress without spending hours upon hours upon hours playing it. Which is really sad because I really like the world. I love the graphics. They're a mix between bright and eerie, depending on where you're at. There's a couple of the higher level towns that are just kind of doom and gloom. They're nice. They're not like super photorealism, but I mean that's perfectly legitimate. By the way, shout out! I have a female character. I've got one male, one female character. The male character was on a server that earlier on was totally maxed out in population, so I could never actually play him. So I made her. But that's perfectly reasonable armor. They don't have like the whole boob plate thing, which is nice. I'm glad for that. There's so much they did right in this game. But after around level 30, it gets so grindy. You start seeing how the trees are all the same trees. You know, if I go out and start looking at some of these trees, you'll notice they're the same trees, just cut and paste. Which I understand. It really cuts down on the workload for the developers, and that I don't mind. But everything else feels cut and paste. And that's this kind of constant theme for this game. A lot of cut and paste and a lot of grinding so you don't burn through the content too quickly to realize that it's all the same content and the amount of content really isn't there. Which is so frustrating because this is so good until it just turns into a slog. So yeah, that's my review of New World. Do I regret spending the money for it? I wish I could have gotten it on sale, kind of thing. Oh, okay. Sorry, when you walk into a town, it shows you the tax rate, etc. But, you know, I just get the feeling... Anyways, where was I? Yeah, so do I regret buying this? No, I enjoyed my time. But am I going to keep playing this? No, I'm moving on to Skyrim. It's an interesting game. It's got a lot of potential, but it just doesn't live up to it. You know, I'm looking at the map. You've got kind of a three-color, you know, 3 teams. You'll notice how on my server, it's all one color. At this point, it's my color. I'm green. Several weeks ago when I was playing, it was all yellow. No, sorry, it was all purple. Purple just completely taken over. And so the PvP elements don't really make sense when it's a one-sided fight like it is. And I get the feeling it's always a one-sided fight. And you really... I mean, you could participate in the PvP events when you are at low levels, but you're just going to be dead. You're not going to be helping your team, which doesn't feel good. It feels like you're just kind of a waste there. And this is ignoring all the scandals they've had with, you know, bots like crazy, people abusing the reporting system like crazy in completely cheating ways. So, should you buy it? If they ever go on sale, definitely. It's worth the first 30 levels or so, but I don't know. Maybe I can't even say that, honestly. If they don't fix this up, I don't think I would buy it if I were you. If you hear that they fix this up kind of like they did with No Man's Sky, then yeah, there is so much potential in this game. It is amazing. But they don't run with it. So I'm glad I bought it. I enjoyed my time. But I can't actually recommend anyone buying it. So with that, not exactly mixed review, have a wonderful day.